Hi guys, happy Sunday. I hope you're good. Here we are then with the weekly reading. This is where I'm going to pull 7 cards to represent the week ahead. We're going to see what the energy has in store for us. I always extend this reading on YouTube, so if you're watching anywhere else, you'll find the fully extended reading. Just search Microblonde Tarot, or the link is in my bio. So let's see, is it going to be a good one? Whoop. Hopefully it will bring some sunshine. Okay. We've got Temperance, we've got Justice, we've got the Knight of Cups, the Page of Wands, the Three of Cups, Six of Cups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the Knight of Swords. Okay, let's get into it. So, Temperance. Temperance represents Sagittarius energy, but it actually represents balance and patience. So there could be something at the beginning of the week where you're being asked to just have a little bit of patience, have a little bit of trust, have a little bit of faith. All in good time is the message with Temperance, all in good time. So try not to get yourself wound up or take any kind of irrational kind of action. It's the time to sort of wait and pause rather than doing too much, okay? But when we dig into the extended reading, we'll see kind of what this is about, what area of life this is, linked into. Day 2, we get the Justice card. Now, I can't remember if this was last week, maybe the week before. Justice is often about decisions. It represents Libra. We've got 2 major arcanas there straight out. The Justice card can represent decisions and choices, but for me as a reader, it's very much linked into legal situations. So it could be justice being served in a legal sense if you're waiting on an insurance claim or a separation or a divorce or a settlement or something like that. It would indicate that justice is about to be served. Now, on a non-legal aspect, you could take that as somebody getting their karma, you getting justice in some way, an apology or, a refund or something like that. There's many ways to take it, but whenever I get justice, it really means that it's going to go well for the person that I'm reading for. Day 3, the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is it's quite a young or fresh energy. It can represent new romance or new romantic connections. It can represent somebody younger or something new, depending. And often there's quite a creative element to this. So this can represent somebody that's quite thoughtful, quite romantic, or has some kind of creative streak about them, musical or artistic, creative in some way or another. But quite often the general sense of the Knight of Cups for me is new romance incoming, new connections, new beginnings, new chapters. Not usually reconciliation for me when I get it, usually something new, completely new, completely fresh, but it's obviously not going to be the case for everyone, but that is how it reads for me. Day 4, the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is a very fun energy. There's a lot of energy around this person. The Wands is a very uplifting energy, and the Page can represent exciting new beginnings or opportunities. It can also represent communication, okay? So there could be an exciting conversation, an exciting message, some kind of uplifting news, positive news. And sometimes this is linked into new opportunities, new ideas becoming reality, things like that. Often to do with communication though, so keep that in mind with the Page of Wands. That is day 4. Day 5, the Three of Cups. So as you can see, there's 3 people here, and they're all kind of standing together and they're celebrating. So this can represent celebration with friends. On this particular card, they are all female, but it doesn't mean that it's only linked to females. It can represent like a friend's birthday. It can represent spending time reconnecting with friends, maybe that you've not seen for a while. It can sometimes be family, but it's a very uplifting, celebratory energy, positive, closeness, companionship, that kind of thing. Okay. Day 6, the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups represents a nostalgic kind of energy. Thinking back on the past, this person here sitting with their dog is thinking back to when they were a child and the dog was puppy. So it's thinking back, it's reminiscing, it's replaying old memories, conversations, that kind of thing. Sometimes this is somebody that you've shared a long history with or you haven't seen for many, many years. And it is one of the cards for me that does represent the past coming back around. Now, obviously, we are no longer in retrograde season, and that is the time where we do often get a lot of past people and past situations coming back around. But this could just be saying that you are on someone's mind. And it doesn't have to be romantic. I mean, even the fact it's next to the Three of Cups here, it could be an old friend that you reconnect with, that you spend time with. It could be anyone from your past. It could be that you are in a very nostalgic energy. You are thinking back about, you know, people, places, conversations, things, just kind of evaluating where you are in life, how far you've come, that kind of thing. But as I said, for me as a reader, it is one of the cards that often suggests there could be a resurfacing of a past friend or connection. Because equally on day 7, the Knight of Swords also feels like that to me quite a lot. Somebody turning around and running back in. So the weekend, next weekend, could really represent a resurfacing of an energy or somebody wanting to reconnect with you. And this could be someone you've not heard from or seen for like many, many years. This is unlikely to just be someone that you've not seen for a couple of weeks. This is like someone you shared a real history with, or you've had a lot of years between you, that kind of energy. Now, the Knight of Swords can also represent you needing to take action and run and pursue what you truly want in life. So if it's not incoming energy, and the message is for you as the viewer, it's about really running towards what you want to do, but also remaining somewhat logical as well and not getting carried away with, you know, the idea of something that you've not fully investigated, if that makes sense. Overall, I think an extremely positive week. We've got 2 really strong action cards. The beginning of the week, you're being told to have some kind of patience or trust or faith. Justice will be served in some way. There is potential new love connection here with the Knight of Cups, or if it's not love, it's like something new that really fulfills you emotionally, because these cards are not always, you know, love, 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 even though that's like the majority of my readings. But it could be something new that really aligns for you emotionally. 1, 2, 3 lots of cups. Yeah, it's going to be a very positive week for emotional connections is what I would say, or aligning with emotional happiness. So I am going to extend it. I am going to use a second deck to dig in a little bit deeper. If you can stick around, please do. If not, I'll see you soon. Okay, let's dig a little bit deeper then. Using the second deck, this is the Dark Mansion Tarot. This is the Lightseers Tarot, just in case you're interested in the decks that I'm using. We're going to start with Temperance. Make sure I've got the deck the right way around, that would help. We're going to start with Temperance. So day 1 is Temperance, being advised to have patience, or that your patience is going to pay off. Basically, don't rush in, just take a breath. Speaking of breath, I feel very out of breath recently with my readings, and I don't know if it's the energy that I'm channeling or whether it's me. Queen of Swords, Page of Wands, Ace of Swords. So yeah, it's basically saying that there is going to be some sort of clarity coming your way. This can also represent decisions. So it could be saying take a minute to really truly think about something before you make any irrational decisions. It could be that there's communication. It's got a Page of Wands again, which we've got on day 4. It could be that there is some kind of communication that comes in that brings you clarity and answers what you've been waiting for, because Temperance could represent you've been waiting for something. Either way, there's something where you don't need to take action. So for day 1, at least, just try and trust the process, be a little bit patient, and trust that clarity and answers will come in one way or another, okay? Day 2, we got Justice, Libra energy, can represent legal matters, can represent decisions, balance. But for me as a reader, it's always very much about justice being served in one way or another. 4 of Cups, the Emperor, the Death card. Okay, so the Death card isn't a physical death, but it is an ending of a cycle. And it looks to me like this is closing a cycle with the Emperor. Now, some readers adore the Emperor as the masculine energy, as the key masculine energy. But actually, for me as a reader, I don't particularly like the Emperor energy, because to me, it often represents somebody that has been abusing a position of control. So sometimes it can be, you know, like a boss that has treated you very unfairly, a partner that has been very controlling or jealous or narcissistic. It's basically somebody that's used their position or some kind of power in a negative way. Not always, but sometimes I do get that energy. And with the 4 of Cups here, this is like a real energy of sadness or disappointment. But maybe, you know, maybe you'd given up, or maybe you just kind of thought it wasn't going to go your way. But there is an ending to this cycle, and I think it is going to go your way with Justice. So try and, you know, hold in there if this is Because the other day, I can't remember if it was the other day or the other week, there was something that I picked up around like somebody going through like a work tribunal, and this could be the closure of that. Okay. Oh, the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups can represent new romance or coming into alignment with, you know, emotional fulfillment and new opportunities and things like that. And as I was shuffling, we've got the Two of Cups, a very strong card around connection and relationships. The Hermit turned over as well. And we've got the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles can represent workplace connections, or working really hard or having some kind of work connection here. The Hermit could represent Virgo. It could be that you're a Virgo or dealing with a Virgo, or it could be that you've been a hermit for a very long time and you've just been spending all your time at work and you've not really been putting that much energy into your love life. However, there is something about to take you by surprise, and this is a very strong connection. It's also a very mutual connection, and it does represent, you know, the potential to have a very strong bond from this with the Two of Cups, because that can be taken as the soulmate energy. Again, if it's not romantic, it could be that there's an opportunity to do with work, because that Eight of Pentacles is saying something to me about work. Yeah, you know, going into a partnership perhaps, because it could be taken as a business partnership, collaborating in some way. Could still be Virgo energy. Virgo is very strong kind of business-minded energy. Okay, Page of Wands. Two of Wands. Six of Swords. The Hierophant. The Nine of Cups. Yeah, so it looks to me like there's a choice, or you've been maybe presented with a choice and you've decided to take it because you're moving forward here with the Six of Swords. You're moving away from something that maybe wasn't really working or was keeping you a bit stuck. You're moving towards something better. The Nine of Cups, emotional fulfillment, happiness and positivity. And the Hierophant here can be about teaching and learning. So sometimes it's like lessons learned, but sometimes it is actually literal teaching or learning. And sometimes it's spiritual teaching as well, spiritual guidance, spiritual practices. So yeah, there's something really good about that as well. It's like you're going to take that conversation, or you're going to take that leap of faith to move forward on something that's extremely fulfilling. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Three of Cups. Celebration, positivity. Sometimes can represent third party situations, but I don't feel that it is that in the weekly reading. It's not really an energy that we would really be picking up on. Ace of Cups. Page of Swords. The Hanged Man. The Nine of Wands. Yeah, it feels to me there's been a bit of a struggle energy here. Maybe there's been a bit of a falling out, or maybe there's been a bit of a barrier between you and someone else. And again, this could be a friendship situation, or it could be more than that. But Three of Cups is definitely like groups and friends and celebration. But there may have been some kind of barrier keeping you apart. There may have been some boundary. There may have been some misunderstanding. With the Hanged Man, maybe there's been a change of perspective, because the Page of Swords is like gathering information. So maybe actually somebody's changed their perspective. They've realised they've taken something the wrong way, or they're seeing things differently now, and they want to begin again with the Ace of Cups. So I feel like this is somebody, maybe like a friend that wants to build a bridge, or, you know, reconnect or something like that. It's interesting that we've also got the Six of Cups here, which is about nostalgia and past and history, longevity. So when we look at the Six of Cups here, which is day 6, we get the Three of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, Justice, and the Ten of Swords. So the Three of Pentacles, again, could be collaboration. We've got the Three of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is really something abundant that can blossom and thrive. The Justice card can be, you know, resolutions being found. And the Ten of Swords could be after a painful ending or a betrayal. It could also be that if this is somebody trying to reconnect with you, you actually don't particularly want to do that, the Seven of Swords, because you don't trust their intentions. Okay, but that's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Sunday, the Knight of Swords, taking some kind of action. Is this you taking action, or is this someone taking action towards you? There definitely is a very strong energy Friday, Saturday, Sunday of sort of reconnection and rekindling. Yeah, the Chariot. the King of Swords. This is a King of Swords energy racing in. King of Swords can represent air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Could represent somebody that has been sort of cold or detached, or has been taking time to think about something, because the King of Swords very much thinking and analysing. But then we do get the Star, which is hope, fulfillment and healing. So maybe this is somebody coming back forward. See, they're seeing you as the Queen of Cups, so they're hoping maybe that there is still an emotion there, that you are still emotionally connected to them, or that you're going to forgive them, or that you're going to be kind enough to accept, you know, whatever it is they're trying to put right. Friday, Saturday, Sunday very much feels like an interesting interconnected energy. Let's have a look what the Oracle wants to say. This is my own Oracle deck. You can buy this. It's a good deck to start with. I'm not just saying that, but it is a good deck to start with if you're interested in reading cards, because you don't need to have learnt the tarot to use an Oracle. Not just mine, but anyone's. The Oracle is a little bit more flexible. Friends, fun, support, very much like that Three of Cups energy. Abundance, pay rise, stability, dream big, and wishes coming true. So it's definitely a good week, very, very positive week for dreams, wish fulfillment, manifestations, stability. See, look, 3 times we've got justice. 3 times we've got justice. That's absolutely insane. Where are we? There, down here. 3 times we've got justice. There has to be a major, major message about justice being served this week. There has to be, for it to have come out so many times. Please drop me a comment and let me know what that means for you, and have a great week.